Hello folks, Colorado Propane Guy here. Just getting ready to go up Woodmoor Mountain. Here's a picture of my GPS phone. I'm actually recording it on my personal phone. You get an idea of the roads I'm going up. I had a video previously of Woodmoor Mountain coming down. But this will be going up Woodmoor Mountain. The only difference is we just had the snowstorm I talked about in the previous video. How I came up here and gassed everybody up that had called for gas, or my regular customers, so that I didn't have to come up here right after a snowstorm or during a snowstorm and gas this person up. I tried yesterday and I slid down the mountain, couldn't make it up, so the snowstorm ended yesterday. It's been overnight, well, the next day now, and I'm going to try to make it up again. I'm all chained up, brand new chains on the truck, brand new tires on the truck, so we're going to try to make it up Woodmoor Mountain. Hopefully everything goes okay. I'm going to put my phone in this cradle so you guys can watch what I'm doing. And I have both hands to drive with. I'll try to navigate and narrate a little bit as we go up. Get the phone set in here as best I can. It will vibrate quite a bit just because it's kind of loose in the mount. The truck you see in front of me, we're sitting in the chain up area, or it's what they call their long-term parking, 72-hour parking. It's where they allow us to chain up before we head up the mountain. I'm actually right at the gate that I went out on the previous video. I'm just inside the gate, so this is the beginning of the mountain. Let's see how things go. So last year when I came up here, it's vibrating again. Last year I came up here, and pretty much every time I came up here I broke a set of chains. So I've got brand new chains this year. They're made up in Canada, a province of Canada. They call them Canadian chains. They're actually made in Finland. Actually, let me hold this for a little bit until I get up to the hard part. They're made in Finland, but they're called Canadian chains. And there's TV show I used to watch, Highway Through Hell, and all the tow truck drivers go, if you're gonna drive up in crap like this, you need these quote-unquote Canadian chains. So when I broke so many pairs last year, we looked into the Canadian chains, and we bought us a set of Canadian chains to go up the mountain here. And this lower part's not gonna be very slick, but I'm gonna see if you can see in my mirror behind me. You can see these chains are leaving a nice trail of torn up ice and snow. Pretty good set of chains as long as they stay on the truck. The only negative I found out about them so far is they don't have the tighteners. So some chains have a little tightener with a wrench you put on it, and those tighteners take place of anything else you have to put on the chains. Once you get the chains installed, you have this wrench, you spin these little pieces around, it tightens the chains up. Everybody hates putting chains on. Even easy to put on chains are a pain in the butt to put on. So I didn't film that. There's all kinds of classes on how to put your chains on. If you guys really want me to show you how to do it, I'm not the best in the world at it. I can do a video on it, but there's plenty of people out there that do it all the time. I do it once a month maybe, so I'm not a professional at it. But I do have to chain it when I come up in places like this. So you can see kind of how windy the road is from the original photo of the map I'm following up. And you kind of get an idea of how good the chains are by how much they're tearing up the road behind me. So we got those Canadian chains. We'll see how they do this year. I'll probably post a video up later if I break them or something like that. I did figure out one thing I'm doing wrong. I'm hauling propane, and most people think of propane as a gas, but when it's in my truck, it's actually stored as a liquid. The compression of it, the pressure it's stored under, holds it as a liquid. And at least that's how I understand it. I'm not a chemist. But inside my truck, it's stored as a liquid. Well, the way the truck is, the rear axle is almost all the way to the back. Not quite all the way to the back, but it's closer to the back. And when I back up, all the liquid shifts to the front of the vehicle. as I'm backing uphill. So we figured out what was happening was the liquid was shifting all the way to the front. The weight was coming off the rear tires where the power is, causing the tires to spin easier, and that's where I was breaking chains. So I think I'm going to go up the north side. The north side's not quite as curvy and not quite as steep. It's still got drop-offs and everything, but yesterday this was not plowed. I tried to go this way yesterday and basically made it to the first switchback and spun out. So I backed back up and came back down and didn't try to go any further. And yesterday I didn't have my normal chains on, I just had auto chains on. So I'm going to apologize. When I get up here to the top of this first switchback, I'll probably stop and put the phone back in the cradle, because after that I'll probably need both hands to be driving. Right now we're still not very steep and not very curvy, so I'm comfortable still driving with one hand. But once we get up here, we'll put that away and make sure I have everything available in case we slide or something. You can see it's still pretty steep over the side, but it's not steep on the road or very slick right now, so it is what it is. I'm not sure why these people are here. Maybe they're looking at that lot for sale. That makes it a little bit narrow. They might actually live in that house, which isn't. It's one of our customers, but it's not plowed out yet. I've already given them gas. I've already given this customer gas. I've got one up here on the right. It's got a 1,000-gallon tank. I give them gas in the summer, but I was kind of expecting them to call. These chains are actually staying on really well. They're not making much noise. The other type of chains will usually slap the truck a little bit. The wheels are only a few inches from the fenders on the bed, because I've got a covered bed back there. There's my other customer. So far so good. I'm liking them. Like I said, they're Canadian chains made in Finland, and they're a little bit heavier duty than the American chains. I don't know why. Colorado's got some pretty nasty areas. New York's got some pretty nasty areas. California, Donner Pass, really nasty areas. It got its name from a group of settlers who basically froze to death up there. Only a few of them lived, and that's where it got its name from. And it's pretty nasty. They got stuck in the snow and basically spent the winter there. And the large majority of the group died. I don't know the exact history of everything up there, but they did have a lot of deaths in their group. So here we are, the first switchback. I'm going to take this corner. I'm going to put that phone in the cradle. As you can see, it's starting to get steep. So as I go up, I'm going to stick the phone back in the cradle. Alrighty, both hands on the wheel. Like I said, this area is not near as steep as the other side. There's less switchbacks. But yesterday it wasn't plowed, and that corner I just took back there is where I spun out yesterday. So it's nice that they actually had to plow today. There is one steep spot I'll point out when we get to the top, where every other winter, last winter, I got stuck there. I was able to dig myself out. It doesn't look bad when you get up there, but man, everybody spins out there and gets stuck. So when I get up there, I'm going to say I'm going to gas through this area. And essentially what I'm going to do is just keep a little speed going and just let the truck's weight carry me up the hill, because if you stop, you're going to get stuck. Don't really need to try out the new chains there, but if the car's coming, I'll have to stop. And then we'll see how good the chains are actually there. So far, these chains are doing excellent. I've had no wheel slippage at all. And still looking back in the mirror, they are just chomping the snow nice to bits. It's literally flying up behind me. So I really like that. We'll see how my tires fare when I get back down. I don't know if I did a video with my new tires, but I've got brand new tires on the truck. I delivered propane to a house that was under construction. Oh, this is not going to be fun. I delivered propane to a house under construction, and got some nails in my tires. I didn't know I was pretty empty when I left there, because it's a big tank I filled up, and didn't hear or feel my inner dual went bad on me. I went flat and came off the rim. When I checked my truck at the end of the shift, I found out I had a tire off the rim in the back and nails in my outer tire, and it was going flat. So they had ordered me 4 new tires, so all brand new tires in the back of my truck. This is steep. We're almost to the top of this, and we're spinning pretty good. Yeah, we're throwing a ton of ice out behind us. It's a really steep curve. It's not a concern because I was spinning. It was just the torque of the truck and the fact that it's such a steep turn. I'm not locked up. This truck is equipped with lockers to lock the rear end up, but I'm not locked up. So at the end of the road there, at the end of the drive or whatever, you can see there is a little steep hill. It looks like nothing. This is where everybody gets stuck. So I'm gonna double check up the hill on my left, no cars. Hill on my right, no cars. So we're gonna keep on going, and I'm gonna take this turn. Moving. Okay. I'm gonna run into the snowbank there. They don't have it plowed very well right here. I'll back up a little bit. And keep on going. I made it up the hill I was trying to make it up. Funny thing, if you can see it, there's footprints on the left. People wearing this little spring non-skid shoe things out to walk the roads. It's nice. Most of the people that live in this area are I wouldn't say old, but they're childless, and they stay in shape by walking these roads, which you can understand. Walking these roads, you can definitely stay in shape. So you may see people walking. It's kind of cold, but it's actually it's above freezing right now right here. So sometimes these people are walking just to stay in shape. Okay, so we're gonna go. I went up the north side of the mountain, and we're gonna come back down a little ways, and I'm gonna hit a real steep uphill, and that goes back up the mountain on the south side. The south side, like I said, there's a lot more switchbacks, probably in better shape than this side is, but it's a lot steeper, so I don't know if I want to drive that today. So here, we get some speed going up this. This is the first steep spot on the south side of the mountain. This is why I'm chained up. I think I have another switchback. I may be at the top now. I don't normally run the north side because the roads are usually not taken care of as much. There's only a couple of houses over there. And like I said yesterday, this side was plowed, that side wasn't. So that's why I don't like to run the other side. We're pretty much at the top. So this should be pretty easy going the rest of the way up. Luckily, we didn't record a spin out or slide or accident or anything like that. Even got to see how narrow it gets when we pass. I was very lucky I was in the spot I was when that car went to pass me, because normally, even on these main roads, it's barely room enough for this truck to go past. Roads up here, even in the summer, are pretty narrow, and makes it really difficult to pass unless you're just in a wide spot. Where I'm at now, it's wider. Probably almost get 2 of these trucks up here. This is another one of the steep spots. I'm getting some wheel spin on this. The customer to my right, we're taking care of them. So the house I'm going to is a cabin. It's the previous owner had some financial issues, had to sell it, and he would only take a little bit of gas each time. So he'd run out almost every month. He'd run out before he'd call, and he was always an emergency. The house is sold. The new owner has it, and he's going to resell it. But he's also doing the same thing. He's only taking a little bit of propane. Our minimum is 200 gallons. So yeah, I'm going all the way up here for just 200 gallons of gas. Another steep section. So, apologize for my ums. As I'm doing that, I'm trying to stop. Here we go again. The owner of this cabin ran out again. It's a Wednesday. He's supposed to close tomorrow. And last night was in the single digits, and he was out of gas. So almost there. It should be up on the left pretty quick here. Check my GPS, make sure I'm in the right spot. Yeah, just around the corner up here. It'll be on the left. put 200 gallons in, had me relight all his pilot lights. I thought it hadn't been that long, so I wasn't expecting him to run out. But sure enough, here we are coming up here again right after a snowstorm. It's actually really the first good snowstorm this year. It's only about 6 inches, but most of the other snowstorms or snows were dustings. So this one's a little bit more snow than usual, but it's not bad. Let's see. I'm here. That's the cabin off to my left.
Your destination is on the left.
I don't know if you see the little cabin down there. It's actually a pretty good sized cabin, but I'm gonna have to block the road here. Well, no, he actually plowed his driveway, so I'm gonna back down his driveway, and that's pretty much where the video is gonna end. Maybe I'll pick up a video when I head back down just to see what the roads are like.